How's everybody doing? Welcome to Hoop Love. I'm your host Lante, that's Lante. And if this is your first time here, I want to thank you for stopping by.
You gon' think a nigga psychic. You ain't seen nothing like this. I should probably copyright this. I promise they ain't gon' like this.
Now today what I want to talk about is the Cleveland Cavaliers and why they should make a trade for Jahlil Okafor of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, you're probably thinking, why would the Cavaliers trade for Jahlil Okafor in an ever-growing, changing NBA where three-pointers and floor spacing is becoming a premium in this league? A prime example is Karl Anthony Towns. Now, while Jahlil Okafor isn't as skilled as Karl Anthony Towns, but he's a big man with supreme skill nonetheless. Now, if we're specifically talking about skill within a big man, Jahlil Okafor ranks at the tops of the NBA. It's going to be very hard to find a more skilled and polished big man than Jahlil Okafor. Off the top of my head, and said Karl Anthony Towns and DeMarcus Cousins are probably the two big men who are more skilled than Jahlil. You could also throw in Anthony Davis into that mix. So here's why the Cleveland Cavaliers should make a trade for Jahlil Okafor. Philadelphia will ship him out for cheap. Alright? They're actually looking to make a move on one of their three big men, whether it be Jahlil Okafor, Nerlens Noel, or Joel Embiid. Now, with the plethora of big men that they have, Nerlens Noel, Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, and now even Ben Simmons, he's a 6'10 guy, they're going to have to make some room. And they're actually looking to move some of those pieces, if not two of those guys. They're just waiting for the right offer to come to their doorstep, because all of these three guys are good and they're not going to give them away for nothing, even though they need to ship one of these guys ASAP. Now, my thought process is that they would rather get rid of Jahlil Okafor just because he's not really the fit for what they want to do. After drafting Ben Simmons, they have a guy who's not necessarily going to score 25 a game, but he needs the ball in his hands to create. And so does Jahlil Okafor. He needs the ball in his hands to score the ball. I think he averaged like 26 points a game last year. He's so skilled on a low block. He needs the ball. And when you have a guy like Ben Simmons, it's going to be difficult to do that. Now, which furthers my point is why they would rather keep Joel Embiid and Nerlens Noel. Now, Nerlens Noel is a defensive guy. He blocks shots, he catches alley-oops, he's going to run the pick and roll, which is perfect for Ben Simmons. And now you have Joel Embiid, who none of us have seen play, but, from his Kansas days, he seems like he's going to be a great pick and roll player, a decent shot blocker, and a guy with nice hands around the basket. And now when you have a player like Ben Simmons, who's always looking for the no-look pass or the quick bounce pass, you need big men who have great hands and great footwork. And Joel Embiid is that. Now for my second point, Jahlil Okafor will help prolong the career of LeBron James if he chooses to stay in Cleveland. Adding a player like Jahlil Okafor to the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, what that will do, it will take so much pressure off LeBron James. Maybe not immediately, but maybe in 2 or 3 years. Because you have a ever-budding superstar, supernova in Kyrie Irving. And then you add a player like Jahlil Okafor who can score on any player in the league. It's just what he does. His footwork is phenomenal. He has massive hands. He dunks everything he gets. So now bringing in a 1-2 punch like Kyrie Irving and Jahlil Okafor, that will allow LeBron James to be the third option on that team. And what that does, it's so great, and I don't think anyone sees it right now, but it allows LeBron to do what Draymond Green did for the Warriors last year. Now, Draymond was second in the league in triple doubles. And he just did everything for that team. He was the best defender on that team. He guarded everything from 1 to 5. And LeBron James is a much better Draymond Green. He defends, he runs the court, he hits open shots, he playmakes better than Draymond. And so that would allow LeBron James just to kind of fit in almost. But when you have Kyrie Irving and Jahlil Okafor, two of the most skilled guys in their position, respectively, LeBron James is going to be able to be almost a free safety, if you will, just roaming the court. Now, on to my third and final point. Jahlil Okafor is a Duke guy. So you have Kyrie Irving, you have Mike Dunleavy, newly added sharpshooter to the Cleveland Cavaliers roster, and then you also have LeBron James. Now, while he did not go to college, as all of you know, he has an extremely close relationship with Coach K due to USA Basketball. Now, obviously, the Philadelphia 76ers aren't going to give up Jahlil Okafor for Mo Williams and Richard Jefferson. You possibly could do a straight-up trade with Kevin Love. Now, the only question that I am still unsure about is what Cleveland would be willing to give up for Jahlil Okafor. Now, there's been talks of them going after DeMarcus Cousins, which is a brilliant move, but the Kings would not. I don't think they're going to budge, and I think Cousins wants out the first chance he gets. I think he wants to go to a contender, or maybe Cousins wants to go to Washington and play with John Wall, his Kentucky running mate. I don't know, but since Cleveland did try to get Cousins, that tells me that big men are not dying in the league. You need one. You need one that is skilled enough to guard 4s and even 3s. And now, while Jahlil Okafor isn't that, he could be that with LeBron James, because LeBron James can guard those 4 men who are stretch 4s, or those even those 5, those centers who are stretch centers, if you will. It's a move that I think Cleveland should entertain, because what Golden State just did, they just tipped the scale. I'm not going to get into fairness, because at the end of the day, you still have to go out there and play 48 minutes of great basketball. So I'm not gonna sit here and crown the Warriors and say, oh, they're the 2017 NBA champions. No, but I think going after Jahlil Okafor will greatly increase the chances that the Cavaliers repeat as NBA champions. They have to do something, unless Kevin Love is gonna take a senzu bean and just turn into Kevin Love with the beard, and he's out in the wilderness like wrestling bears. Listen, I don't know what the Cleveland Cavaliers have in store or any game plan as to beat the Golden State Warriors this season, but here's what they need to do. They need another piece. But I just think going after Jahlil Okafor right now, when Philadelphia 76ers need to ship one of those guys, it could pay massive dividends for the future of that franchise. So I just think that's a move that the Cleveland Cavaliers should even entertain. You have to entertain it. I think Cleveland needs to jump on it. They have the most to lose, because the Golden State Warriors are set to win 3 or 4 championships. When the competition improves, you can't stay the same. Cleveland, you have to make a move now. This is where championships are made, in the off season. So get it done, all right? That's it. This is Hoop Love with Lante. That's Lante, and I'm out. Peace. Now on to my third point, D'Angelo Russell. All right? Now, I say his name, and people are probably looking at the screen like, what? Why D'Angelo?